Correcting leg length in Turkey. How can the height of a human being be increased? How to equalize lower limbs' uneven length, and how to resolve associated issues. Today's video covers this topic. We will visit a highly regarded Turkish orthopedic clinic and meet a doctor who helps patients from other countries in Antalya, Turkey. Do subscribe to the channel and ask questions in the comments. Here we're talking about medical tourism in Turkey. Have you seen girls like these? How about such IT folks? Proportions are obviously adjusted. It's not Photoshop. People really lengthen their legs big time, some to get this kind of proportions, some others to grow taller. To achieve this, special surgical operations on the thighs are required. The femur, a tubular bone in the human body, holds the distinction of being the largest. The bone is severed and a sturdy metal rod is inserted, which acts as a support for the growth of new bone cells, facilitating healing. Such operations also help eliminate leg length discrepancies, defects from birth or from illness during early bone development stage. How can surgery help a person to become taller, and how much taller? Increasing height has become a popular topic in recent years. It should be divided into two categories based on indications, cosmetic and medical ones. Dr. Murat Baluoglu, an orthopedic surgeon in one of the most famous hospitals of Antalya, a doctor for the Antalya Spor football team, a member of several medical associations. He received his education and specialization at Akdeniz University, interned in Italy, and worked in a number of cities in Turkey. If we are going to lengthen legs for cosmetic reasons, we can raise a person's height by approximately 14 to 15 centimeters. However, if we perform the surgery for medical reasons, such as correcting leg length inequality or other causes, then we should stretch the length enough for the limbs to be equal, ensuring there would be no imbalance while walking. How much time does the height increase process? I mean all the process including the procedure and recovery. The time it takes for the process varies depending on how much we intend to increase the bone length. We expect to extend a bone during the main process by 1 millimeter per day. As we can increase height by 1 millimeter daily, we will extend it by 3 centimeters in a month. It's math. So the procedure's length can be calculated based on how much we need to lengthen the bone. So if we have a plan to increase leg length by 14 or 15 centimeters, it will take approximately 6 months. Also, the duration of the procedure depends on the method we will use. What do I mean? In the past, we primarily utilized a specific type of apparatus known as a fixator for this purpose. We still utilize these approaches with fixators in certain situations. However, now we mainly apply a method with motorized pins in hip bones. No outside supporting structures are involved. Only pins are inserted into the bone that can stretch within. But if a patient needs not only to lengthen the leg, but also to change its shape, then we can use fixators in that particular case. This approach may include an Ilizarov apparatus, or devices that we call axis fixators. If we start the procedure with a motorized pin, the operation on one bone lasts about 1 to 1.5 hours. We can start stretching the patient's bone 2 to 3 days after the surgery. That is why we want the patient to remain in the hospital for 4 to 5 days so we can start the initial stretch here. After that, the patient can stretch their bone by 1 millimeter a day right at home on their own. This is done using an app that controls the motorized pin in the bone. Every month, we take control X-rays and verify the results at the end of the procedure. In Turkish clinics, many patients have had this done. Those who corrected their leg length say that feel more confident and became a complete version of themselves. Longer legs, better career, more romance. Can everyone undergo these procedures? What are the patient group restrictions? The first contraindication is if there is a metabolic bone disorder, because that disease would interfere with growth. The second is severe osteoporosis if there is loss of bone mass due to age. The third is pathologies linked to tumors. If none of these diseases are present, then after preliminary checks we can perform this operation on everyone. What are the risks and negative consequences after height increase surgery? What complications could happen? Well, for instance, the length may not increase enough or the process can take more time than we planned. A potential cause may be a delay in the body's acceptance of the foreign object because normal bone quality was not maintained or metabolism was not supported. These issues can increase the time of the procedure. the patient may experience additional complications such as infections, which can arise as a result of the surgical incisions we perform. To resolve this problem, we can avoid utilizing external fixators and instead depend entirely on internal pins for mitigation. In this scenario, this issue can be ignored. The next group of risks or complications can arise during mobilization when we help the patient stand. A bone fracture may occur if the patient does not follow our instructions during the rehabilitation period. The pin itself could fracture if the procedure program is not adhered to. In our practice, we haven't faced these problems yet, but these risks are real. At the conclusion of the stretching period after height increase and locking all pins, the risk of fractures lasts for 2 years. The reason for this is that the tissue and bone we have elongated need time to strengthen and closely resemble the original bone structure within the body. This occurs only after 2 years. Thus, we recommend avoiding injuries and impacts and not engaging in sports. Orthopedic procedures such as height enhancement, joint replacement, and spine correction are readily available in Turkey and done at a good professional standard. We talk about it on our channel. Through this link, you can check out a full series of videos about Turkish orthopedic doctors. At times, receiving assistance from Turkish doctors is quicker and cheaper than treatment in one's own country. Foreign patients can get free consultations from a dedicated service company. In this service, you can find a fitting clinic and arrange your treatment journey. The team at this company includes certified doctors with experience in Turkish hospitals who know the local healthcare system well.
After a person submits a request for treatment in Turkey, we, the coordinating doctors of Healthy Turkey, select the best clinic and doctor for them based on their diagnosis, wishes, and needs. As practicing Turkish doctors, we know exactly how to do this as correctly, quickly, and effectively as possible. We constantly accompany the patient throughout the whole trip, and we always stay in touch for any questions that may arise even after the patient returns home. We also talk a lot about our work on our Instagram account. You can subscribe to our Instagram via the link or QR code to get to know us better and, of course, to understand how our company works in general.
Could you tell me, how high is the demand for height surgeries? Do you often have foreigners as patients? Where do they come from? I will divide this question into 2 groups. The first one is the pediatric age group. The second one is adults. In the first group, we receive patients with insufficient or absent growth hormone. The majority of these patients come from Turkey, along with Russia and other nearby countries. On the other hand, adults who wish to increase their height for cosmetic reasons are mostly patients from Europe. That's the distribution. I don't know the reasons for it, but this distribution exists. In recent years, the percentage of patients wanting cosmetic height increase surgery has surpassed that of the pediatric group.
Turkey stands out from other countries with its comprehensive approach to patient care. In other countries, you often have to pay separately for each procedure. The organization of medical tourism visits to Turkey under the all-inclusive system is managed by the Healthy Turkey company, which collaborates only with verified specialists in both medicine and hospitality areas, coordinating their work for each individual patient. Healthy Turkey takes care of everything, from consultations and agreements with the clinic and doctor to transfers and accommodation, migration formalities, and translations of medical documents.
The company's website is shown on your screen. It has a wealth of information about other medical services for foreigners in Turkey. Feel free to ask questions at this number. All popular messaging apps are working, and make sure to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss new videos on quality medical care for foreigners in Turkey.